This is RonKat Spearman, and you're listening to the Nothing Shocking podcast.
Want to know what's going on in the world of music? Then tune in to the Nothing Shocking podcast, a non-genre based, all ages friendly rock and roll program. Join us weekly for interviews with all your favorite rock stars from the mainstream to the underground. You can find us at nothingshocking.libsyn.com or anywhere you download podcasts.
We're putting the band back together.
The numbers all go to 11.
I'm talking about bands that rock. Led Zeppelin. What about Sabbath? AC/DC. Motorhead.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
I get up off the ground and raise my head. Days like this, think I should be dead. One for Satan, two for me. Let's cheat the devil, it's fun, don't you agree?
Welcome to the Nothing Shocking podcast. I'm your co-host, Jeff Untied, and with me in Dog Bowl Studio is
Coach Nez.
You can find the Nothing Shocking podcast on Libsyn or any podcatchers. Like our Facebook page or follow us on X at No Shock Pod.
You can also find the Nothing Shocking podcast on Rock Rage Radio every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. Our sponsor is Big Strix Vinyl Records and Sports Cards, located in Rock Island, Illinois. New, vintage, and previously owned. You can find it at Big Strix. We'd like to thank the Hong Kong Sleepover for allowing us to use their music for our intro and bumper ending. Tonight's guest is
RonKat Spearman
of Parliament Funkadelic
and Katdelic.
Yeah, he and his band just returned from a December tour of Hawaii and the West Coast. What else does he got going on?
Coming up this summer, they'll be part of the Joshua Tree Music Festival.
Let's get to that interview.
All right, good night.
Good night. RonKat, welcome to the Nothing Shocking podcast. I'd like to introduce my co-host, Jeff Untied.
Hey, RonKat, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hey, how's it going?
Fantastic. Well, we're so happy to have you tonight. Let's get right into this. So you recently returned from a trip to Hawaii where you performed 2 shows. Can you talk a little bit more about that experience? And not a bad place to spend the new year, huh?
Yeah.
Not a bad place at all. It was amazing. We got to do some really cool shows and got to check on a couple little different sightseeing things. Like there was a couple hot springs things we went and checked out, and we were on the edge of like some volcano, but I kind of steered away. I kind of steered away from the volcano, But and then I just realized somebody that the promoter that had us up there, Kristen, she sent me some pictures of the volcano kind of spitting out some volcanic lava, that just jumped off. So I guess they're always going off down there. And then we felt a little bit of an eruption, just a little bit felt like a little earthquake a little bit while we were down there. But it was truly amazing. I mean, the people were great. And I got to see some sides of Hawaii that I've never seen before, and the people were fantastic. It was great. It was a good little good few days, week or so.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, I'd like to hear more about your 5-piece party all-night band. Can you talk a little bit about the people you got playing with you?
Yeah, it's funny. It's like I have an army of musicians. I don't really talk about it a lot, but like I have musicians on the East Coast and on the West Coast too. So this cast of soldiers that I took with me for the Hawaiian show was this guy, Britt Lockhart on bass, Lisa Lynn Preston on sax and vocals, and John Cotto on guitar, and then we had a guest drummer that sat in with us, and that was a short little crew that we took for that particular show for Hawaii. We're supposed to be going back too for the 4th of July, and then I think there's another date that we have that we're working on right now. So it's been a really cool connect that we made out there.
Oh, that's exciting. Besides your performances in Hawaii, you played 4 shows on the West Coast. Can you give our listeners an insight to your December performances out there in California and Arizona, I believe?
We do hit like the Boom Boom Room has been like our home and hub for like many years. We hit there a lot. That's like our little home, and we play a lot around San Francisco and the Bay Area, and we'll play anywhere. We'll play in your living room. If you want us to come, we'll cook breakfast for you. You can cook. We can trade off. Well, anywhere that will have the funk, we'll bring it and serve it up. But we've been doing like a lot of different shows out there. We just did the Bodhi Hive that was up in Nevada City. That was a really cool little private little show that we did up there, and that was really cool. And we're just all I'm really doing is just like making art and just making things and just trying to just go in and try to. I'm not reinventing what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to go where my imagination will take me to help people to have a visual concept of what will help them to have fun, and that's what we're about.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in 2025, you had a couple of new singles, Believer, One World, and Funk Insurance. I love the video that you did for Believer. Can you talk a little bit about the team that you worked with to make that video?
Yeah, we worked with this artist. His name is Shiro, and he does like a lot of animation type things. And we met online, and we discussed the concept of Believer, and then I had already cut the song, obviously, and I sent it to him, and then we collabed a little bit on the concept, and then we just wanted to create something really positive to help people to continue to believe in just what the future really holds for us right now, because sometimes, and even now, sometimes things seem a little bleak, but I think within us all, we kind of hold the power of our destiny, by what we believe and how we can change things by us being better people, just being better people ourselves, and just, because sometimes a lot of people are not into, getting out and protesting and stuff like that, but sometimes you don't have to do that. Sometimes you can just, you might spark a little kid or something that might change the world. You have no idea that just because you were nice to him, or you smiled at him, or you smiled at a woman on the street, or you know what I mean? Like, it's not all these. It doesn't have to be so demonstrative, things. Sometimes, sometimes it's the little things that help to make a change in the world. So I believe in a lot of that stuff, and I think some of this stuff is like, that's going on that we're watching and that we're falling into. Some of it's a lot of BS, it's just trying to, I never did get when I went to see The Matrix, I never did get the concept until right now. Like, I'm like, damn, we really are in the Matrix. This is really the damn Matrix,
It feels that way. Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, man, so, with people like yourselves and, a lot of us out there that, that we get it, like what it is, and we just got to keep just doing the right things and keep spreading good vibrations, man. I don't think John Lennon was wrong. I don't think, a lot of people that helped us come together as far as we've come, they were on the right path of what, like, love and being a good person and doing the right thing for just humanity. It really works, it really helps, So that's what we're trying to do through the music, and, we're just trying to just continue to spread just funky vibrations. And with the funk music, it helps us to do that because it doesn't really put that much weight on your brain. You know what I mean? It's just kind of, I think it enlightens, like when I met George Clinton, he helped me to like, because I was at a point in my life where I was really like, I was like, F the music business, because I just didn't like the people. And I was just like, a sensitive, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't want to deal with these crooks. I don't want to deal with this stuff. You know what I mean? And then when I met him and Gary Scheider, the Diaper Man, they they just like saw everything that I was dealing with and what I was going through, and they was like, just come with us, man. Come along with us, And they were doing what they were doing, and it just helped me to get back to the art and the love of why I really play music and why I really, want to do it, and why and the purpose of what I'm doing it for, and why, it seemed like they saw like all the things that I went through because it seemed like they had experienced those same things and they went through some of those same things and they were like, oh, okay, we got another one. Let's help them, So.
For sure. Well, you mean, there's no more creative band or people in this world than Parliament Funkadelic and George Clinton. But you have an interesting story about you meeting George, collaborating with George, writing with George, and then joining P-Funk. Can you talk a little bit more about the experience and the origins of that whole story?
Yeah, I mean, when I first met him, it was so funny because around that same period of time, I had met, dig this, I had met Lenny Kravitz, I met Rick James, Ike Turner, and George all around the same time. I didn't meet them in the same places, like I met them individually, but I met them all around the same time. And like, they were all just had so much wisdom and knowledge, and just they were giving me so much game about like what was going on in the music business and how to just kind of stay above the fray, and just kind of keep my thing above board. And then when they heard what I was doing, because when I met them, I had hit records and stuff. Like I had wrote like the song "Don't Walk Away." It was a pretty big pop hit, and I wrote some stuff for Tony Braxton. I was a songwriter first. And so I was doing that, but being an artist was something that I always really wanted to do. And so around the time that I met them it was like a perfect time, And then when I met George, me and George, we just kind of I hit it off with all of them, but like me and George just kind of really just hit it off. He was just like dad, up front. And then we did a movie called The Breaks. And I can't remember who the star of that movie was. We were just listening to some of the music that I did on that movie. And I had a studio in my house, and we just started recording and cutting and just making music. And then they kept teasing me, like saying like, hey man, your suitcases are on the bus, bro. I was like, what? I was like, how did these MFs how did they get my suitcases in there? Like, what's up? And so they said, no, your suitcase is on the bus. And so they were just really just kind of hinting to me like, bro, you need to just jump on the road with us. And it was really something that I really had always longed to do. And so they took me, man, and I just jumped on the road, and I was just like, I vowed never. When I first met them, I vowed I was never going to get off the road with them because I was having so much fun. I was having so much fun. It was just too much fun that one human being should really shouldn't have that much fun. Yeah. I'm just telling you young kids out there, you shouldn't have that much fun. Too much fun can be dangerous for your health, But I was having so much fun, and I was learning so much stuff. And musically, like I was around Bootsy, I was around Bernie Worrell. I used to stand in between Boogie and the Diaper Man, Gary Scheider, and we used to get so funky that George would turn around and like if he turned around and he threw up his finger, if he threw up 5 hands, that means $500 because he was he was telling your ass to stop what you're doing. I'm trying to talk to the audience. I'm trying to break this down. And so he would turn around, and Boogie would never adhere to any of that. He was like, F that, because we would be having so much fun and it would be so funky. I mean, when you get into some of those grooves with them cats, man, it would be like, oh man, you can't stop. And so Boogie wouldn't stop. And so it ended up costing Boogie like $2,000 or something, at the end of the night, because George would be turn around, but he didn't care. Boogie didn't care. But I would throw my hands up in the air. I'm like, I can't afford to give you $2,000. I can't afford to give you $2,000, George. I haven't been on the road that long.
Fantastic. Talk a little bit more about, being that band member and being that, having to be that supporting act to then transitioning into doing your own solo work.
Well, that was something that I always wanted to do, is do my own thing. And then I just felt like I should, at the time in my career, I felt like that was a perfect time for me to become like an apprentice, when I met George, to go out on the road and really get that experience. Because when I traveled with P-Funk, that was like show business 101. Yeah. I mean, it was like from the jealous musician to the worst hotels to the plush palatial hotels to sitting with like, kings of countries, like I was amazed sometimes, like when we would go to like certain places and George would like go to a country where the custom was where they couldn't stand up and party with us, like when we're playing like we want the funk, gotta have that funk. They couldn't stand up, but George would get them to stand up. And I just learned so much. It was like the schooling of like Funk 101, like and just just sitting with Bernie and talking about timing and just different ways of how they approached it, because some of these musicians a lot of them, they went to Juilliard, man. They were not just like some guys just playing, Some of them like were really studied, like Michael Hampton is like really methodical with like what he does, Blackbird McKnight, I mean, it's just a lot of music theory and stuff that went into it, which is something that like I just kind of just naturally picked up, and I play by ear and a lot of stuff like that, but I was able to relate because just all of the things that I've listened to and different things like that. And then, some of them aren't, some of them didn't go to Juilliard, but a lot of them just had the funk, just naturally, And so, I mean, what I did was I was building my band on the side, but it was kind of hard sometimes to like balance like touring with P-Funk and then when you get off the road doing your own thing. Because as soon as you get started, then another tour starts up. So I was able to manage that, and just from the things that I learned, but I had to really just like really work really hard to just kind of build up what I was doing, because it wasn't as easy as you would think. Like, hey, I'm on the road with P-Funk, and then I get off, and then I do a show, and then everybody's gonna come to the show. It's like you do a show, and then there's like there might be one person clapping in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You still got to go out and do your due diligence and do your work. I mean, it wasn't as bad as that for me, but I've talked to other musicians in different bands and different things, and they've experienced certain things like that. But like, I was just trying to just keep everybody on the dance floor like I do right now, and just taking the things that I've learned and the things that have worked, and just try to keep people entertained, and it's it's half an ego trip for me, but not really,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep everybody happy, when they come to see me, so they'll come back.
Absolutely. You've collaborated with some of the biggest names in the music business,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a guitarist, you're a producer, you're a songwriter, a singer. I guess
Multi-instrumentalist.
yeah, and with that being said, how is playing with and working with some of these big names, I guess maybe formed you as the musician, songwriter, producer? And how has it all come together for you working with this vast, experienced musicians that you have over the years?
I mean, it's been amazing. I mean, you know what was really amazing? Like one time we did a show for, I think, PlayStation or something, and Tommy Lee was on the drums, and I mean, he killed it. It's just so much respect that P-Funk gets from like just different musicians that, like sometimes I didn't even really know, like, wow, they really honor what they've done because of the plethora of work that they put in. And then everybody respects everybody. Like we worked with Henry Rollins one time,
Yes.
oh my God. I mean, and he's such a great guy. I mean, it's like all of us just like, it's like you get people in a room, man, and all of that. Some with some of them, things just it's just common, like, hey man, I respect what you're doing, you respect what I'm doing, and we get in the room and just make some great music, and that's all we're really trying to do anyway.
I guess on the pecking order of things for you, what comes first? Is it your guitar work? Is it the songwriting? Is it the singing? Is it the producing? What comes first for you on your title? I guess what's number one?
I'm a songwriter first. I think I'm a songwriter first, and then I love my guitar. I love my guitar so much. I mean, if there wasn't no women in the world, I'd probably be married to a guitar. Y'all probably see me standing with a guitar.
Fair enough.
But I mean, you know what I mean? Because it's got 6 strings on it, and I can put effects on it, and I can step on the pedal and do what I need to do. But realistically, I mean, I just I love to write songs, and I love rock and roll, and what I really love to do is fusing like rock and roll with the funk,
Yeah.
and hip hop and just metal. I love to put heavy metal like up underneath some of the stuff that I do, and I just like fusing things and seeing how those things come out and how they react, how people react and how they respond, and not trying to keep things the same, because I'm not trying to reinvent what P-Funk has done because it's not possible. You know what I mean? But I have, I study, like, I listen to like a lot of music and a lot of people, and I love a lot of music. And I just try to, like, since I was a kid, I mean, there was just like so much music played. Like, all I remember is in my crib, like, I just remember being in a baby bed. I don't know, it sounds weird, but I just remember like top 40 music playing, and it was programming. I don't know if my mom knew that it was really doing that to a child. I don't know if it, I don't know if it's true, but it was like programming. And I got song structure from that, not knowing it though, but like getting it. And then I'd get up, and then my pop is playing like Miles Davis or Hugh Masekela or Jimi Hendrix. Go to my aunt's house and she's playing Funkadelic, and I'm not, it's just like all of this music around, and then you listen to the radio, like in Michigan, you're in Grand Rapids, Michigan, it's like you're hearing some of the bad, you're hearing like all of this rock and roll music, man, and And music, when you listen to music when you was a kid on the radio, it's just like you can remember the smell, you can remember how you felt. Like sometimes, like if I listen to, like I was listening to some Steely Dan, and I was like, wow, I remember how it felt. That was a great time right there. That was a great moment in time. And I feel like it almost brings a tear to my eye because I feel like our kids sometimes are deprived of like, I mean, it might be different for them, but it's just like, I just feel like we're being forced to like, to some fake stuff it's not really real. You know what I mean?
It's not.
I'm not saying that it doesn't make you feel like empowered. You know what I mean? It doesn't make you feel happy. It's making everybody just uptight. Like everybody's like uptight, for no reason in a world that is so beautiful. It's got so many beautiful people in it. And I'm sitting to you, talking to you on a piece of technology that somebody invented, but yet we can't figure out how to get us to all get along. Right. And we got the dumbest MF. I mean, it's almost like running into a brick wall every day. When you get up, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's why I know that like we possess the power really within ourselves. It's got to be, we must be some superhero, because we have to continue to project the goodness, man. We gotta, because some of this stuff is just too mind-boggling, bro. It's just like, you can't keep up with it. No. You know what I mean? You can't keep up with some of this crazy stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. I got off into that little.
Well, I mean, no, it's true. I mean, I don't remember who had the quote, but I saw somebody quoted recently that like this is the last time you're ever going to know what real art is, and that's scary to me.
Right. How can that be?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, how can that even be? You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't have the authority to even say nothing like that. Because this is like this world doesn't belong to this world belongs to some we can't even understand.
Exactly.
This is a gift to us, and we're supposed to be sharing it with each other. Really, but oh man.
Well, I bring it back to if you want to put it in the music context of genre of music.
Yeah.
The rock and roll fandom drew lines in the sand with, hey, if you listen to heavy metal, then you can't listen to
right
R&B, or if you listen to punk rock, you can't listen to whatever. And years ago, we interviewed Tony Dolan, Demolition Man from Venom, the most black metal band of all time. There's no more evil than Venom. But he made a really good point. He's like, it's all rock and roll. We should never, ever draw lines in the sands with music and music creation and creativity. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But you don't cast stones at people that do. Or people that, or the people that don't. It's what you like, what you like, and it should never. And it comes down to that. I guess that music fandom snobbery thing. I guess. And if everybody just would understand, it's like, hey, don't persecute somebody what they like, what they don't like, because I think that's also like it follows through with life in general. Yeah. Am I wrong on that?
No, absolutely, you're right. George says the same thing about funk, because a lot of people say, hey, man, that's not funky. He said it's all funk. It's all funk. That all of it's funk. It's like we're the ones that like, hey, I got to put this category on it so we can make this money over here. Right. I got to put the date and time that it was, But if you think about it, some of that, like look at where we are now from those categories. Like right now, we're in a state of affairs right now where this is the house that hate built. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, this is the house that hate built. This is what you get when you hating motherfuckers. Can I cuss on here? I don't mean to.
Go ahead.
But I'm just saying, I won't. But I'm just saying, like, this is like when you deprive people of like liking what they like or loving who they love. You know what I mean? Like this is the union. This is what like this is ice. You know? It's just like when do we like go, hey, because it's just like in the 50s, we discovered like the things we was thinking in the 50s was some crap, you know. So now we on to this next stuff. So the stuff we was thinking in the 60s, we continue to evolve, but there's always somebody or something that's suppressing the evolution of how things should really be. And to me, like, there should be no suppression when it comes to love. You know what I mean? Because love can be good and it can be dangerous too, but it shouldn't be no suppression. It should be no, I don't know, it sounds easier than what it really is, but it's like, it seems like there's always somebody that wants to control. It don't matter if they black, white, Mexican, Chinese. It really doesn't matter. Man is a self-destructive individual sometimes. And you get a group of people that come together and they be like, hey, we believe in the Cracker Jack, whatever idiom of the, you know what I'm saying? It's like we always got to find something other than ourselves to believe in, and we all have the natural abilities to love and be the best person, be the best people we can be. But for some reason, there's always some crap. Like this crap we going through right now in the world, man, is just like, it's almost like all of us is like looking at this stuff going like, this is the stuff we used to watch in movies. Like this is like, it's like a bad sci-fi. I used to watch those sci-fi movies and be like, damn, is this shit?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're living in a bad sci-fi, bro. It's
Hey, let's get back to the music.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all good. I'd like to take it back to last year or 2024, 2 years ago. You had a great album, Kattitude EP, 8 tracks. On there, you had Love Safe, semifinalist international songwriting competition. Can you talk a little bit about that experience?
That was right before the election, and there was spot of hope. Yeah. We were feeling really hopeful about like maybe a shift and a change.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of that music came from. And then I had cut when I first met George, I did the Transmission song, which was the very first song that I recorded with him. And so we just went in the studio and then we kind of just revised it and kind of tweaked it a little bit. And that was where that inspiration came from. And then we just like, we always try to like, I always try to keep some rock and some metal up in my thing because I cannot not have it not happening because it's delic to us. It's funkadelic to us, to keep that edge,
You had another good video in that with that EP. No Driver had a good promotion.
Oh yeah.
Can you talk?
Now that was about. I was standing on the corner like in San Francisco of like Castro and like 18th. I was crossing the street and this car pulled up and it turned the corner and I looked inside the car and there was nobody in there. And I was like, what? Because San Francisco is always like they way like, like the Bay is sometimes real tech savvy and ahead of the curve sometimes on a lot of stuff. And so I looked in the car and there was nobody in there. And then this melody popped in my head and it was like No Driver. And then I just heard like this rock and roll, like kind of punk funky kind of thing, and I just ran with it, and I was feeling it totally all the way when that popped in my brain. So I went to the studio and just cut it.
Fantastic. I wanted to talk a little bit about the first Friday of every month. RonKat Spearman and friends perform at Pop's Blue Moon in St. Louis. Can you talk a little bit more about the weekly event and tell us about the origins of it all?
Sure, yeah. So, my family owns this bar, Tops Blue Moon. The bar is like 100 years old. It's up on the hill. And like a lot of my friends will filter in, like from, I got a friend, my friend J Mac played with Morris Day and the Time. He'll come and play with me. Then Brick Lockhart, he'll come and play. And then my boy Luke Saylor. I've had some of Katdelic West come out and play, like Lisa Preston, Lisa Lynn Preston. She'll come out and sing, and we try to do it every first Friday and stuff. And they do like we promote this CBD drink that we have. It's called they're called the Mighty Kind Company. And they do like CBD, CBG, and THC drink that they do. That's really popular and is really, really tasty. And so we go there and we play. And I'm supposed to do I missed this past first Friday because I was in Hawaii. But we go there and we play, and we just jam out and just try to have a good time.
Nice. So cool.
Yeah, I was reading about it's at different music festivals and things, and maybe you do it in other places too. You have Katdelic for kids, where you put together music songs that you've written and stuff for music for kids. Can you talk a little bit about that experience or that program that you have?
Yes, we do the Katdelic kids part of the festival sometimes when they hire us to do it, because we do like an acoustic side of our show. And so we'll do like a couple kids songs that I've written. I've got this song called the Katdelic Wobble, where I get the kids to come up and perform, and I show them this dance that I made up. And we play the schools sometimes. We used to do Harvey Milk in San Francisco. And I always try to give back to the kids and just give them a little positivity and just, show them a little love, doing some things like that. And so that's pretty much, what we try to do for that, for the festivals and stuff. And then like we're doing Joshua Tree on May 17th is the day that we perform. And then P-Funk they're doing like a festival, a P-Funk festival, that's supposed to be on April 11th in Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, wow.
That we're supposed to be doing. So that's going to be like P-Funk, and then all the offshoots, Katdelic, and just all the bands that have come from P-Funk. I think a lot of us will be there that are part of the family. And so this is the first, and they're just putting together their own funk festival, which is it's going to be pretty spectacular. So we're pretty excited about that coming up.
Fantastic. I have one last question for you, then we'll leave you alone for the evening. I hate to draw comparisons because I don't know if I'm giving a compliment or an insulting artist, but I can't help it when I watch you perform and watch your chops, everything. You remind me of our hometown guy from Rock Island, Illinois, Jesse Johnson. He's originally.
I love you.
Yeah, Jesse's from Rock Island. That's where we're out of. And watching you play and then watching him play, it's very similar. Did you draw inspiration from Jesse when you came to your own style of play?
Jesse is like my guitar hero, and so I when I don't know if you guys know that I played with him. I did a show with him. He hired me to do a show
I did not
with
know.
him. Yeah, I did a show with him at Yoshi's in Oakland. And it was so fantastic. And just to meet him, I mean, he's just so amazing. I love Jesse. I mean, I wouldn't stop loving Jesse if he hated. You know what I mean? I just can't, because he's inspired me, like even through the Prince stuff. Like I was just so happy that, to hear another side of the Minneapolis sound, and then to hear that he was doing what he was doing, it was just my kind of funk. And so like Jesse would call me up and we would be talking about what we were going to do. And he would play the guitar on the phone while we were talking. and it would be moments where he wouldn't even be talking. He would just be playing. And I mean, I heard some of the most amazing guitar stuff, and then he would be giving me like a lot of the Prince stories and Time stories, and we'd be talking about, we would be exchanging stories, war stories. Mine were P-Funk and his was the Time, and we'd be yucking it up and laughing, and it's so much there, and then we were writing, we wrote a couple things together and stuff, which will probably come out at some point. And but I can truly say, yeah, hell yeah, he was the inspiration. He definitely was the inspiration.
Oh, so cool.
Nice.
Well, we're out of our allotted time for this evening. Is there anything that we left off tonight that you would like to plug or promote?
No, I appreciate you guys, wanting to interview me, and I just continue, I just want to continue to spread some good music and love, and good vibrations throughout the world, man. That's all I care about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is how things are going to work out. Jeff, he's the editing wizard, and he'll get everything cleaned up and make us sound like $1 million. And then I'll send it. I'll send the link to you. I'll send it to your publicist, and please share it wherever you possibly can.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem.
RonKat, thank you so much. We
Yeah.
appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, this has been great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, man.
Sounds great.
Take care of
Peace
yourself.
to you.
All right, have a good
All
one.
right, you too.
Bye.
Everybody pulls the plug and says their last goodbyes. Move to the sunshine, fight the grip of nights. If they ever take from you, then you plug out